Yo, 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 good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Here you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen right there, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss what we're bringing to the world. All right, so remember, you guys, as always, it is free to like, share, and subscribe. It is your way of letting HerbMan know you appreciate what we're bringing to the platform. All right, so I am your resident herbalist, and today we're going to be talking about illumination through elimination. All right, now this is very big because we're going to continue to expound on the last video. We're telling you guys things that we do here at HerbMan Inc. to bring about the optimal health, okay? And one of these things is going to be the elimination process, okay? People call it the detoxifying process. We call it the elimination process. Our actual detox is called a 21-day rejuvenation process, because what we're saying is this is how you rejuvenate yourself, is that you have to sometimes eliminate some hard things that we really just don't want to eliminate, and we have to eliminate them from categories outside of just the physical realm. Sometimes we're going to have to eliminate social things in our social environment, things in our job environment, things in our home environment. All right, we're just going to have to eliminate these things in order to get to where we're trying to be. Now, one thing about what's going on in our world today is that you find that a lot of people who have obtained success are still searching for something in life. There's still substance that is missing on the inside, on the internal parts of an individual. So it's no matter how rich you get, no matter how pretty you are, no matter how successful you think you are, there are still certain things that money, looks, and all these particular things cannot fulfill in one's life. And what you're finding with these people who want to lose weight, and people who want to do this and do that, and people who want to, I don't have a problem with it, but people who want to just change their physical appearances, it got a lot to do with not liking that which you're seeing. And it's really because you are addressing yourself by the things that you see in the mirror. See, we only really know ourselves from the outside in and not necessarily from the inside out. And so one of the great things that we try to change and we try to illuminate to our particular people is that very factor. Is that in order for physical things to really take place, something has to change in the mentality. Something has to change in the mental apparatus. And the reason why I say this is very easy. When you're looking at this particular picture here of the body, this head part right here is the reason why it's at the top, because this is where all of the information coming into this particular vessel comes in at. All of the things that's coming into this body comes in through the head. Now everything that comes out down here at the tail end of the individual, but all of the stuff that goes in attacks the head. Okay, all of the information, all of the conditioning, all of the engineering, all right, it goes into the head. And when it goes here, this takes precedence, and then this makes this body operate to that which has been conditioned to. Okay, and this is being worked on you as soon as the day when you're being born. This is being conditioned. Everything is being conditioned. Now, how is that being conditioned? I'm glad you asked. We have 5 senses, okay? And these 5 senses are taste, smell, sight, touch, and hear, okay? And this basically is your mouth, nose, eyes, skin, and ears. These are your portals for inputs, for information, okay? And what has happened is that we've been so preconditioned to really only know ourselves from the outside in. So you only know yourself by your name. You only know yourself by being a parent, or by being a child, or by being a manager, or by being a boss, or something like that. And all you're doing is living up to these titles. Or somebody called you pretty and you're trying to live up to that. Somebody called you fat and you're trying to not live up to that, or whatever. And you're only addressing these things that are based on titles. But if you can rip away those titles, if you can eliminate those titles and start to really search for who you really are in life outside of you being successful or you being rich, take all of that off of you. Even if you're on the other side, if you're considered poor, or if you're considered fatherless, or if you're considered dysfunctional, or if you're going to be considered a disappointment or whatever, take those things off of you. Don't try to live up to those titles, because they are not who you are. On the positive end is not who you are, and on the negative end is not who you are. So we don't want you to just accept the positive titles. We want you to lose all of these things. We want you to eliminate all of them, so therefore you can really be addressed with who you really are. Your name really doesn't address you. It really doesn't address who you really are. And so this is what we're trying to do here, HerbMan Inc., is allow the person to really figure out who are you, who you really are, and let's start to peel away from what has happened to the preconceived and to the preconditioned and to the false pretenses and to the misinformation that you're trying to live up to based on your taste buds, based on what you smelling for as perfumes, far as foods are concerned. Why do you like that particular cologne? Maybe because it's what your dad wore. Why do you like that particular perfume? Maybe it's because what your mom wore, right? Why do you like that particular smell? Maybe it's because that's what your people ate, right? Or your sight. Why do you like looking at these TV programs? Why do you like being around sporting events or all this type of stuff? What is it about what you're seeing that heightens you in your senses? It's these preconditionings. These preconditionings are allowing you to have these things in life based on these preconditions. What you think you would like, what you think makes you happy. And then once you start delving into these things, you realizing that it's not making you happy. Once you get all that money, there's still a void. Once you have all that family, you still feel alone. Even though you're that pretty, you still are insecure. You still are having issues. Why? Because you're trying to live up to those false inputs. And when you cannot control the inputs that are going into this particular area, then you're going to be susceptible to not being able to control your behaviors and your actions. And that's what's going on in our society when you're looking at humanity. We're not being able to control our actions. We're not being able to control our outward outburst, our behaviors. Why? Because we're not in control of what is going on the inside. And so when you're getting all of this misinformation, this preconceived, preconditioning, social engineering, when you're getting all this impartial information and you start to watch YouTube and do that, and you read a magazine and try that, and you saw a commercial, so you'll try this and you'll do that, and you're trying all these little things to make yourself better, and they're not working. Why? Because they're really information impartial. They're not giving you the full information on really how to lose weight. They're not giving you the full information on really how to get success. They're not giving you the full information because they don't want to. They don't want you to really compete with them. So you're not really being downloaded with all of the information you need. And so you keep finding that you're not being able to reach that which you're trying to reach. Why? Because you don't have the right information to reach it. So instead of accumulating things that don't fulfill you, let's start eliminating those things, because they're practically waste anyway, right? So it's practically no good for you anyway. So let's start to waste them. Let's start to eliminate them. Let's start to rip away these pills and let's start to rip away these layers of deceit and misinformation, and let's start to realize how we can get to the level that we're trying to reach, which is really self-awareness, which is really soundness, right? Groundedness in a place. So this is how you get information in, right? So this is how you are getting information in. Now let's show you the ways of eliminating, okay? And how you eliminate, we're going to go back to our pillars, our four pillars, our four elements: fire, earth, air, and water, right? So in this particular fire thing right here, right, when you're getting that sunlight, or when you're able to go to a sauna and you start to sweat, or you can exercise and start to sweat, this is a way for you to eliminate the toxins through the skin. The skin is one of the biggest organs on the body. We call it the third kidney because it would allow you to get some of these environmental toxins out, some of these heavy metals that we're getting through the food and water, we can get out through our skin. This is an eliminating process that you can utilize to help you get this stuff out of you, okay? Get this stuff that you've been eating and get this misinformation that you've been getting here in the brain. So we're going to attack the same area with information, but with the right information, okay? So that's why you got to understand when you're coming to HerbMan Inc. that brain is the area that we're trying to infiltrate as well. Because until you allow us in there, then you cannot really get the physical manifestations of what we're teaching you out of it. You got to let us in. And the way you let us in is not through the physical body, but through here. I need to get in the place that you're allowing everything else to get into. Let me in here so that I can help you with everything else here. Okay. So this is where this is going. So now sweating and me taking you and telling you that you need to sweat and get toxins out of your body. This is the reason why. So you can sweat that stuff out of you. Next, you need bowel movement, right? This is what we call earth. You're going to need the bowel movement. And what we do there is you eat something and then you do a bowel movement. You don't need to eat in between. You eat something, wait for the bowel movement. And you'll see that when you're sitting in the sun for 2 hours, maybe from 8 to 10 a.m. or from 4 to 6 p.m., that you're just in a resting state and you're sweating. When you're sitting in a sauna, you're in a resting state and you're starting to sweat here. So this is just not meaning that you got to go out and run, exercise, dance and all that, but you could do that for sweat, but you don't have to. You can rest and still get this sweat. Bowel movement, your actual digestion system actually operates at its optimal level when you at rest. So when you're resting and relaxing is really when the body can do the proper digestion. Okay. So this also will promote rest and relaxation for this to happen to you. The next one is another process of elimination, and it's breathing. Knowing that when you breathe out, you're breathing out carbon dioxide. But if you add a little humming to your exhalation, so when you through your nose, in your nose, out your nose. If you add just a little humming there, you'll also come out with nitric oxide. That will help you with colds and sinuses and all of that. Even if you didn't know that, you add that little humming to it and you'll start seeing that nasal area and all that congestion will start to ease up. But again, you're getting out toxins with that carbon dioxide coming out, and then you're putting oxygen back into your body. This is a great way for you to see how we're exchanging the positive for the negative energy, how we're exchanging the positive for the negative energy. This is illumination through elimination. We're eliminating, illuminating, eliminating, illuminating, eliminating, illuminating. Okay. And so this is another one of those things that what we could do that can get that stuff out of us. Also, we can, get our lungs involved and cough up mucus and all that type of stuff that will increase our ability to breathe. Deep breaths, all right? Diaphragmatic breaths, okay? That's what you want to do, straight from the diaphragm. Next is another process of elimination that we're all known, and this is urination, another process of elimination. Okay, so now you have how you get it in, and this is how you get it out of you, you guys. You saying, well, all that bad information is going to come out with this. Okay, all of that bad taste buds, let's get it out. All of that, all of them, all of that stuff that you're smelling that turns your cravings on. Okay, we're going to get it out through this right here. Again, when you're doing that humming, that nitric oxide will start to redo all of them nose hairs, and we'll fix that smelling. Okay. All right. Now you're talking about urination and everything like that. All right. So we're going to get all of the toxins that we're getting in our foods and in all of this stressing and all that stuff that we're doing. We got to get that stuff out some kind of way. And a lot of the times when we're raising our cortisol levels and we're raising all these hormones in our bodies due to our sympathetic nervous systems and stuff like that, we still have to dispel of that stuff through what means? through our kidneys, okay? Through our kidneys. So this is another way to process all of that type of stuff and get that stuff up out of us. Now, these things you say, well, so these things are not only going to help me on the physical, but how do they help me mentally? Well, this is where breathing comes in at, okay? Breathing is going to help that mental fortitude to change all of that stuff over, right? So you're starting to focus more. You're starting to get more mental focus, more mental clarity. What happens in this stuff is that once you start eliminating all of these preconceived notions about yourself, and once you start eliminating all of these conditioning that has been going on as far as how you should eat and what you should eat and how you should take care of yourself, and when you start eliminating what you think about yourself, so you don't keep putting all of this makeup on your skin and all of these aluminum up under your underarms and all of this all these chemicals in your hair, because you probably just don't like what you're seeing. But I'm here to tell you that if you can just eliminate those preconceived engineerings about yourself, okay, and just get back to you being one with you and being able to allow this physical body to operate like it's supposed to, especially in the elimination process, then you'll see you'll start becoming more illuminated in how you feel about life. Because once you start this elimination process, then peace will start to come over you. Embodiment will start to develop in you. Your love connections will start to strengthen more, okay? Your love connection will start to strengthen more. Your ability to communicate and your ability to have mental clarity will start to come. And all of those things that you dream of as far expanding oneself and expanding one's knowledge and expanding one's wisdom and just that expansion and abundance of what you want out of life will begin to start being more clearer to you. You'll start to see it take effect, and you'll start to see what your role is in that abundance, in that expansion, and you'll be able to fit in properly, because a lot of that is what's the issue as well. We don't feel that sense of belonging. We can get to a certain point and still feel out of place. Okay, and so this is why we take on certain habits sometimes. It's because we don't have that sense of belonging. So we like to hang with the crowd, and if the crowd is unhealthy, then I'll be unhealthy. If the crowd is all gonna die from smoke, I gotta die from something. If the crowd all gonna die from drugs, then I gotta die from something, right? And so we just want to fit in instead of being an outcast. And a lot of times when we feel that way, we will take on bad behaviors just to fit in. And then for the few of us that are the outcasts, we feel outcast, and so you're still trying to find a sense of belonging, even though you're feeling outcast. You want to still get with the other outcasts, you see what I'm saying, and figure out how they made it through and how they get through it. And the real answer is that you just got to be company with one. You just got to start finding some comfortability with yourself, and you just got to start finding some completeness within that, okay? And that is where this thing all starts, and that's why we say it all starts here, because we're going to re-educate this particular part of the body, and we're going to re-engineer these taste buds, and we're going to re-engineer these smelling hairs in your nose, and we're going to re-engineer what you want to hear. And we're going to let you know that you only really need to hear positive things that reinforce where you're trying to take this body to. The things that you're trying to do with this body, it only needs to hear things that will positively reinforce the actions that this body is going to take, the behaviors that this body is finna go through. Okay, you need positive things that reinforce where this mind is about to develop. Okay, also with your eyes, you need to be in environments that continue to reinforce, all right, where this body is going. That means people, family, friends, community, everything that the eyes could see, from a near vision, far vision, peripheral, all those things need to be as much as possible. Now we know you can't control every aspect of life, but as much as possible, you need to put this body in atmospheres or environments that are conducive to where you want to go and feel and how you want to feel in life. Because if you put this body around people who are always around disappointments, this will start to feel disappointment. This will start to feel the things that are around it. It will start to, infiltrate. And so you got to make sure that, all right. And then what we're going to do here, HerbMan Inc., we're going to change the sensation of touch in this thing too. So you're going to be feeling love touches all the time. That's one of the things we do here, HerbMan Inc., is that we're going to lay hands on the presbytery around here. Now we're not going to try to do things through the internet and through the virtual and all of that, because touch is very important. And a lot of people who are dealing with a lot of diseases, especially as they age, one of the main components for that disease really taking hold is because they don't have nobody there to really reinforce that love and that connectivity. All right. And that's where touch come in at. That's where the care and health comes in at, right? Showing people that you actually really care, transferring that energy, all right, through them, through the touch. That needs to be re-educated and reconditioned here. And that's what we're going to do here at HerbMan Inc. So we're going to recondition and re-educate you on all of the inputs. We're going to give you more positive inputs for these 5 senses. Okay. And then we're going to teach you how to control and how to guard these inputs so that you are the only one that unlocks the door for information to come in, and it just doesn't push its way in. Remember that if we cannot control the input, then we cannot control some of the behaviors and actions that the body is going to do. And one of those are going to be what kind of disease it's going to get. If you cannot control what you're putting into your taste buds and what you can't control that, then that's going to manifest in an uncontrollable disease. So I hope you guys understand. This is why you need to come to people like us instead of just buying herbs, instead of just buying pills. You don't want to go through the process, and I understand it is a daunting process, but it is the very process that can get you to the place you want to be. Now, some people don't want nothing but a physical manifestation. They don't want to change everything. And for those people, they probably will always stay in control. I mean, they probably will always stay as puppets to the healthcare system, because those are the people that the healthcare system love. The people that don't want to do nothing for themselves, don't want to stop anything outside of the lifestyle they live in, and then just want to keep on and just take a pill with them. Then that's what's making the medical industry money, and they are fine with that. But I can't be that way, okay? Because I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And when I say that, I really mean that, to a point that even you want to allow me to give you reckless information for your reckless behavior. I may not be the person for you. But if you're really looking for illumination, the thing that we seek when we go to the churches, and the things that we seeking when we're going to these monks and we're going to these gurus, we're seeking how to be illuminated. And illuminated could just be, like I said, when we looked at the endocannabinoid system and the endocrine system, EN, right? EN, that means from within. And so when we're looking at enlightenment, everybody wants enlightenment. Right? Well, you got to look at what that is. Inward light coming on. And the only way you're going to get enlightenment or illumination is from within. And so what we're trying to do is turn the person inside out so that they can know themselves from the inside out. And when you know yourself from the inside out, and you come back and you fall back in love with that which God created, not what you created or what the society created, but that which what God created, okay, in all of its perfectness, no flaws. That which God created in all of its perfectness, when you can fall back in love with that and you can see yourself as that particular being here, okay, then now you won't do anything. When we fall in love with people, we tend to try to do our best for those people. And it won't be no different than for yourself. When you fall back in love with who you are, the one that God created you to be, not what your name is, not what your title is, but that what God created to be, when you get to know that person and fall in love with that person, you won't do anything wrong to this person no more. You would be so in sync and so intuitive with this person. that you would be damned that anybody would say anything wrong around you, touch you in the wrong ways. You know, you would be remorse to be in areas to where, you know, you're around stuff that you shouldn't be around, seeing things that you shouldn't see, right? You know, smelling the positiveness of life instead of, you know, dead things and smelling them and making them smell good. Oh, that steak smell good. That fish smell good. Them chitlins, they smell pretty good, right? Yeah, because you're gonna eat it, and you've been conditioned to dismiss the smell and start to eat it. And we also going to retool what you say and how you act and all of these things. So you're going to know how to do this. You're going to know how to do this before you leave us. That way you can start doing this stuff on your own, and you start teaching your family, you start teaching your community, you start teaching your friends how to get to where they're trying to go to. And there's a lot more to this. Okay, but what we really wanted to try to get you guys to understand that there is a way to get to where you're trying to go, and you don't have to be stuck in the rut, and you don't have to wait until you got a physical ailment to come and get this high grade healing. You can come and get it from a spiritual trauma, from a mental trauma, or from a emotional trauma. You don't gotta wait until you get into a physical trauma to get this illumination, okay? But it's still going to require you to go through the elimination process, and if you can mentally focus on that, if you're mentally willing to do that, then we're here at your disposal, man. I love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Go tell somebody your homie HerbMan was on. And until next time, love HerbMan. Yo, good people. Welcome to the HerbMan Show.